There's been a lot of talk about the need for greater humanity in some of the policies dealing with COVID-19. Well, we've got another case today, and we hope that members of the Berejiklian government are watching right now, because there are renewed concerns about the impact, particularly on families of children with autism. Autism Awareness Australia calling on the New South Wales government to come to the aid of one family who has a son with severe autism struggling in the confined space of hotel quarantine with 3 other children, including a newborn. Let's bring in Nicole Rogerson, CEO of Autism Awareness Australia. Nicole, thanks so much for your time. Just explain for our viewers this situation, the family involved, and what's happening.
Yeah, it's a really sad story and a very desperate family and a very upset little boy today. Look, I want to say right from the get-go, we understand the importance of hotel quarantine. We understand the need for it. We're not asking for special treatment, for everybody, but this case is unusual. This is a family with 4 children. Their eldest son, who's a big boy, has severe autism. They have 2 little girls and a newborn baby in a very small serviced apartment. Their son doesn't understand. He doesn't understand there's a pandemic. He doesn't understand why he's cooped up. He doesn't understand where his things are. He's having rolling meltdowns every hour. He's awake all night. This family are under enormous stress, and we're calling for the government to please at least see some accommodations could be made. This family are happy to quarantine, but they have an empty house in Sydney waiting for them to go home to do that in.
Well, the family have all tested negative. The on-site doctor recommended that family home quarantine happen, but you haven't had any response from New South Wales Health, from Brad Hazzard's office, from Premier Berejiklian's office. I mean, this is a case that's screaming out for an exemption for this poor family.
I don't think you need to know a lot about autism to understand the need here and to understand the pressure this family are under. And what we're simply asking is, this is a family that have all tested negative. This young man is in a high level of distress, which is causing his siblings to be distressed and scared. I've seen the video. We're not going to share it because I don't think it's fair to this young man to share that imagery, but I've seen it and it's horrific. And I know for a lot of parents, it's, oh, it's hard being in there with any kid. Okay, but just add in a child that doesn't understand, who can't communicate in an appropriate way, and who's going to act out. It's not his fault. This environment has done this to him, and we need to get this family some support.
Absolutely. No, it's not his fault. He's got 2 scared siblings and a newborn as well. Imagine the parents and no sleep for them.
No, the mum says their day can start anywhere between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. They're just asking, can they go home? The money not spent on accommodation could be spent on, I don't know, a guard standing out the front to make sure they don't go anywhere. These people are not a risk. They are just desperate for these other reasons that they can't fix in that room. And I can't imagine, I don't think the mum knows how she's going to get through another night. When I said to her, I'm going to take this public today, I'm going to see if we can make some noise, I honestly thought by the time 4 o'clock came around, I'd be telling you there's nothing to come on to talk about. This has been solved. I mean, how hard is this? This is an obvious story, massive distress. Pick up the phone, sort it out. It's not hard. And I'm begging Brad Hazzard to understand here. We're not being princesses. This is not we don't want to do quarantine, moment. I really don't want to sound entitled here. This is just a desperate situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, the money could be spent on putting a guard, if so be it, if they need to, at the house, just to give the kid a bit of room, to give his parents a bit of sanity. This is an extraordinary situation. I'm sure when the Premier and the Health Minister see the details, they'll intervene, and hopefully we can have some action and some movement on this, because the poor kid's having 24-hour, basically, meltdowns, and the parents having to deal with it.
They are, and I don't know what this looks like tomorrow. I certainly don't know what it looks like in 10 days' time, but I don't know what it looks like tomorrow. I can't insist enough the urgency of the situation here. This young man is harming himself, and this has got to stop. I just don't see why this is so hard.
Well, let's hope, Nicole Rogerson, that we can create a bit of awareness this afternoon with your appearance here. We'll be in touch as well with the Premier's office and be making our representations known as well off the back of our discussion, and we'll stay in touch, Nicole. Hopefully we've got some good news before the sun sets and that family can get some respite in what is a very tough situation. Nicole Rogerson, CEO of Autism Awareness Australia. Thanks.
Thanks.